What Novak Djokovic produced against Jannik Sinner in the Australian Open semifinal was not just a win. It was a reminder of who he is, what he represents, and why he continues to defy time, logic, and expectations. At 38 years old, Djokovic battled for 5 exhausting sets, overcame one of the best players in the world at the peak of his powers, and booked his place in another Grand Slam final, where he will now face Carlos Alcaraz with history on the line, a chance to win his 25th Grand Slam title. From the very first ball, the match felt heavy with significance. Sinner came in as the in-form player of the tournament, confident, composed, and riding a strong head-to-head advantage. Djokovic arrived with questions around his level, his physical condition, and whether age was finally beginning to catch up with him. What followed was a match that answered all of those questions emphatically. Sinner started the match with authority. He was clean off both wings, especially on the backhand, and he matched Djokovic rally for rally in the opening exchanges. His serve was solid, his court positioning aggressive, and his confidence obvious. Djokovic, meanwhile, looked slightly tense early on, struggling at times to find depth and leaking more errors than usual. As the match progressed, it became a tactical chess battle. Djokovic tried to extend rallies, test Sinner's patience, and pull him into uncomfortable patterns. Sinner responded with fearless shot-making, stepping inside the baseline and refusing to be pushed around. The quality was incredibly high, with long rallies, sharp angles, and relentless intensity from both players. When Sinner took the early lead in the match, it felt like a real possibility that a new era moment was unfolding, and the young star taking down the legend on one of his favorite stages. But Djokovic has built his career on surviving moments exactly like that. Slowly, almost imperceptibly, Djokovic began to turn the match. His return game improved, his movement sharpened, and his ability to absorb pace and redirect it started to frustrate Sinner. The rallies became longer, more physical, and more demanding. Djokovic wasn't trying to out-hit Sinner, he was trying to outlast him. By the time the match reached a fifth set, it had already earned its place among the great Australian Open semifinals. The physical toll was evident on both players. Every service game felt like a battle, every breakpoint like a turning point in history. This is where Djokovic separates himself from almost everyone who has ever played the sport. In the deciding set, Djokovic's experience became overwhelming. He raised his level when it mattered most, found first serves under pressure, and played the biggest points with complete clarity. Where Sinner showed flashes of brilliance, Djokovic showed control. Where Sinner pushed, Djokovic absorbed and redirected. It wasn't flashy, it was ruthless. At 38 years old, Djokovic moved with purpose, defended with intelligence, and attacked with precision. His ability to read Sinner's patterns late in the match was extraordinary, cutting off angles and forcing errors at exactly the right moments. When the decisive break came, it felt inevitable. As Djokovic closed out the match, the emotion was clear. This wasn't just another win. This was proof to himself, to his rivals, and to the entire tennis world that he is still here, still dangerous, and still capable of beating the very best over 5 sets. The victory sends Djokovic into yet another Grand Slam final, extending a career that already feels almost mythical. And the reward is as big as it gets. A final against Carlos Alcaraz. It's the matchup everyone wanted. Youth versus experience. Power versus precision. The future of tennis against one of its greatest ever figures. Alcaraz arrives in the final after surviving his own epic, showing courage, resilience, and physical bravery. Djokovic arrives having once again proven that when the stakes are highest, he remains one of the toughest competitors sport has ever seen. For Djokovic, the motivation is clear. A win in the final would give him his 25th Grand Slam title, pushing the record even further and cementing his legacy in a way that may never be matched. At 38, he is not supposed to be here, and yet, once again, he is. This semifinal against Sinner will be remembered as one of those matches that defines an era, the moment when the old guard refused to step aside quietly, when experience overcame momentum, and when belief carried a champion through 5 brutal sets. Novak Djokovic is into another Grand Slam final. History is once again within reach. Do you think Djokovic will win the Australian Open? I read you in the comments. If you liked the video, subscribe for more. See you tomorrow.